Topspurs 0, Arsenal 1. Kenny Ken, you've seen an away win at Spurs for 3 years straight. Is the history of the Topspurs, Kenny? Yeah. And I see the game. I looked at the game. It didn't feel like a derby watching it on TV. Maybe it was different in the ground, but the fact that we were wearing our Lynx Africa kit, yeah, that's shambolic if I'm honest. And then there weren't really any fight. Some of the yellow cards were a little bit sus,
Yeah.
like soft fouls that were booked, then tougher ones that weren't booked. It was only really when Timber grabbed hold of Vicario and said, "What, you want some of that?" It kind of got everyone going because up to that point, I thought we were awful, mate. Second off, it was comfy. It was comfy. There was times when they got in, but for me, I didn't really feel like they're going to pepper us. Then we get the goal. Bukayo Saka's best corner he's taken for about 12 months. Gabriel, bang, have that, you mugs. What are you saying, Kenny?
Well, you're 100% right about in everything you said. That game, in terms of both quality of both sides, was a 0-0 all day long. There wasn't enough sufficient quality coming from both sides. I thought Spurs looked way too predictable in their attacks. I think the first half they were worried about us in the counter attack and leaving the space. That's why you didn't really see edge fall in terms of them getting their bodies forwards, trying to win the ball high up the pitch. The only reason why when they won the ball high up the pitch is when some of Raya's clearances were a bit short. Apart from that, it was just a lack of quality. You would have thought that they tried to capitalise with us not having Odegaard in the team and us not having Rice. But I think they remember what happened last season when they were way too open. We done them on the set pieces, and then Saka's goal last season where we just stretched them. There's no way they're going to let that happen again. That's why they try to do us like for like. But if you think about if there's any like real proper saves, Martinelli went through in the first half.
He wound me up, mate. If you could have seen the manager's words here, we lip read it on TV. He said, "Pass the ball, pass the ball."
I think Martinelli's doing a very good job of trying to play himself out of the team. Trossard fought like a tiger, but you look at Trossard, and again, there wasn't much quality coming from both of them. I don't think any of those two have any complaints if Sterling and Jesus started against Atalanta and Man City. But saying that, we may not have had the quality. They didn't have the quality either. You think about the second half, the amount of times they got in behind us. Every time the cross went in, our goalkeepers were catching it all. Our centre halves and fullbacks would have cleared it.
Or it'd go out for a goal kick where they overhit it.
Goal kick, they overhit it. And even when they had shots, they would just basically back pass it straight to our goalkeepers. So you think of the only probably half chance was the header from Solanke.
Yeah.
Which was kind of the back header. Apart from that, we were completely comfortable. And I think if you're a Spurs fan, you'd be a bit worried because the gulf between both Arsenal and Tottenham is massive. It was biggish last season, but this season is absolutely massive because you think about it, they had a lot of the ball, had a lot of possession, but they didn't hurt us in any way, sort of form. They were way too predictable. We knew it was coming, and it was very comfortable in the second half. And you got to say
we established control defensively. We let them have the ball.
Yeah,
we let them have it down the wings, and we just mopped up. Yeah, I didn't even know Son was still on the pitch until the last minute of the game. He was awful today, man.
Yeah, but you can say that about Brennan Johnson. He worked great today as well. He had another audition, didn't do it. I thought Kulusevski for them played way too deep. I thought James Maddison again flattered to deceive. It was no surprise when he was taken off. We played him really, really well. But
their best player was probably the left back or the right back.
Yeah,
they were probably their best two players.
Yeah, Udogie and I thought Van der Ven did okay. Van der Ven did okay. Romero was asleep for our goal. And you got to talk about the quality. You look at our set pieces. During this season, I thought a lot of teams have worked us out. Except for this team.
It's Tottenham, Kenny. They couldn't work out anything.
And that kind of surprised me because we had that same situation against Brighton. Brighton were pretty comfortable. Aston Villa were pretty comfortable in the set pieces. So Wolves. But once again, you got to ask yourself, if you're a Spurs fan, does this guy work in defence? Because it was a simple ball. They managed to deal with quite a lot of set pieces. For that one, thank God that Gabriel was free and was able to put the game
But sorry to cut in. Yeah. When I watched that, yeah, I watched the replay back when they showed it on TV. Right? Who was it? I think it was Kulusevski. Kulusevski was kind of bear hugging Saliba. The keeper's tried to get involved and go that way. If he just goes round the back, he probably saves it and catches it. Instead, he's trying to get involved. And then Gabriel just went, bang, have some of that. It's like every time we do corners in this league, not even just this league, in world football right now, everyone's trying to jostle, they're trying to cuddle each other, trying to get... It's like, if you stop all of that and actually just mark your man instead of doing all these antics, you probably concede less goals. But we're the masters of set pieces, Kenny. And today, that got us out of jail because, like you said, that had 0-0 written all over it.
Oh, I'd put that 0-0 written all over it. And, it's one of those things where is this the stage of the season, a 4-game season where you're not going to see very good football. And today was one of those things. You weren't going to see good football because we didn't have our players out. But, there's a lot of people who was next to me were very, very upset with Martinelli. There were times in the first half where Martinelli couldn't even beat his man. And one guy said to me, he lost his pace. I said, no, but he probably lost his confidence. I mean, that chance where 2 seasons ago, Martinelli's burying it. 3 seasons ago, Martinelli's burying it. But Martinelli hasn't been the same player for us since January 2023, where I think and a manager was making overtures towards signing Mudryk. Martinelli probably thought the Martin was on the wall, and he hasn't been the same mentally since then. Trossard's with Trossard's good 48 of the season, that hurt his confidence as well. Trossard's wasn't great, but he was industrious. But again, you think about who's coming off the bench now. Sterling. I think Sterling. It's a good opportunity for Sterling to actually start games because there is no way, judging what I saw today at the match at the North London Derby, that Sterling will have any problems getting in that team because both Trossard and Martinelli just ain't good enough at the moment.
See, I think when Sterling came on, he wound me up. He had that chance, and he didn't need to take that extra touch. He should have just whipped it.
But Sterling's got the Arsenal disease, hasn't he? He's a player that's not high in confidence.
Sharp.
Yeah, well, not high in confidence. Sterling, the confident Sterling takes that early and shoots.
Yeah.
If the goalkeeper saves it,
when he drove forward, he's got in the box. I'm like, right, cool. He dropped the shoulder. He sent the defender Romero, and I'm like, now whip it. But then he took another touch, and he gave it well.
It was the same with a mistake. You know, the mistake where I think it was Benjamin White. I think it was White who got caught.
White. He gave it straight to Solanke.
And he goes to Solanke. Solanke took an extra touch as well. And if Solanke was full of confidence and took the shot early, who knows what would have happened?
Or he could have squared it to Kulusevski.
But he decided to take another touch. That let in Saliba. Saliba made a good tackle. 0-0 at half time, and that's when you're thinking who's going to take the balls by the scruff of the neck, who's going to have that extra bit of quality, and we just
took control. Yeah. Well, let me ask you this, Kenny, and let me ask you this here, because obviously you were in the ground, yeah. Right, I've shared your post on Insta. It looked lively at the end when you shared the post match. Yeah, what was the atmosphere like and in the stadium? Because obviously last year, a lot of our fans, last season they were all supporting Tottenham against Man City. Was it a weird atmosphere today, or was it actually feel for you that it was a North London derby today?
It's funny you should ask me that because I spoke to some Arsenal fans, and these are old school fans who've been going to Arsenal probably when we were in our nappies, even before we were born. And I asked my two good friends, a bloke with his daughter who's in her 40s, another one of my mates who's 4 years older than me, and I asked him that question. I asked three of them the question. I said, right, when Spurs played Man City, did you want Spurs to beat Man City? And all three of them in unison said, use swear words. And it wasn't like he used swear words and said they didn't care whether Arsenal had a chance to win the league or not. They were not going to support Spurs. That they still wanted Man City to beat Spurs, and that was the theme across the ground. All the proper gooners. Proper gooners stopped short of saying they are under no circumstances were they backing Spurs against Man City. Not a chance. So. And that's what I say. When you go to away games, that is when you speak to the real good.
The hardcore, yeah.
You're not these YouTube little boys, not these super fans with their little chicken shop date its silliness where they stop where they want to have chicken shop day, Arsenal versus Spurs fans, or they're going to start squaring up pseudo. No, the real Arsenal fans are the ones who still had the same traditions as myself, you, Jez, Matty, Northside, Ola, all who've basically said any game,
them lot.
any game Tottenham plays, we want Tottenham to lose. There is no way of supporting Tottenham against Man City. Fuck that for a game of soldiers. Not on my life. I wanted Man City to beat them. I don't give a shit if that meant we were going to lose the league. Guess what? If we'd beaten Aston Villa, we wouldn't even need the Spurs to beat Man City.
If we had beaten Fulham, instead of taking 1 point out of 6, if we had just beaten Fulham once, we might have had a chance, isn't it? If we had beaten West Ham at home, we would have won the league.
Exactly, and that's how it should be. You know, there's some new fans who don't know about the traditions. They're probably not real Arsenal. They think they're one of those idiots who think that Man United is a bigger rival than Spurs. They think Chelsea is a bigger rival than Spurs.
To be fair, I'm one of them.
But what I'm trying to say is that you have
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying.
But those.
I understand the history of the derby and the rivalry, but I don't think they're rivals.
But if you delve deeper into their minds and you go up to them and say, right, why do you hate Man United? They'll tell you it's because at school all the Man United supporters used to give them
facts.
And I'm saying, well, for fuck's sake, you're in Islington, you get to school in Islington, or you went to school in Haringey, Islington border. Surely you would have known, being a North Londoner, that Man United, that the rivalry with Spurs is sacred. I mean, you had them at half time. Gary Mabbott was being interviewed, and he said the same thing. The only game that matters was the Spurs Arsenal.
Yeah, when the fixtures come out, Kenny, the first fixtures you look at are Tottenham, isn't it?
Yeah.
When we're playing Tottenham away, when we're playing Tottenham at home.
Exactly.
Then after that, you go Man United, then you go Chelsea, then you go City.
And Gary Mabbott, who's their captain, and they call him Captain Fantastic, he's the same ilk. A lot of old school Arsenal fans are like David Seaman, all of them. When you get these new fans, these idiots who have watch-alongs where they say one of us, you've got to back Spurs, and they have the audacity to say that, oh, we're old school, we're boring old men. Go to hell, mate. You don't know the rifle. Go away. And the thing that makes me laugh, where were they today at the ground? Where were all these people?
No, they weren't.
Don't get me wrong. The CBeebies channel was there. The CBeebies guys. As I said, I mean, some of their watch-alongs or some of their podcasts are like a scene out of Balamory.
On that bombshell, Kenny, get out of fucking Tottenham safe and sound, mate. Yeah, I noticed you ain't got your colours on, but get home safe. Kenny, follow Kenny on KennyKen1972 on Insta. Kenny, I'm glad you've seen a win. It weren't pretty, but who cares? If it leads to a title, 3 in a row, Kenny. If it leads to a title, it was all worth it. You know what I'm saying? But at least you've had a good day out, man. Bless you, mate. Love you always, man.
Definitely.
Get home safe, mate.
I will.
Cronky out.